Welcome, friends. Today we are going to explore the topic of meditation from a unique perspective. That meditation is not something you do, but a state of simply being. While there are many techniques and practices out there, true meditation at its core is actually a very simple phenomenon of present awareness. We often think of meditation as a doing, practicing certain breathing exercises, repeating mantras, or specific concentration techniques. However, the essence of meditation is the opposite of all doing and mental activity. It is to enter a state of profound non-doing and just being. In this video, we will unpack what it means to meditate in this way. We'll start by understanding the difference between the modes of being and doing. Then we'll look at practical ways to discover the state of just being for ourselves. Finally, we'll explore how to integrate and live from that state of meditation in the midst of our daily activities and responsibilities. So settle in as we dive into this simple yet profound art of presence. What is meditation? What is being versus what is doing? So what does it actually mean to meditate through the lens of just being rather than doing? The key is to understand the distinction between being and doing. Doing refers to any kind of physical or mental activity and engagement with the world around us. This includes obvious doings like walking, working, playing sports, and so on. But it also includes more subtle doings that happen in the mind. Thinking is a form of doing. When we are caught up in the thought stream, trapped in memories, fantasies, worries about the future, we are in a mode of doing. Concentration and focused attention are also doings of the mind. Even practices we consider meditation, like repeating a mantra, watching the breath, or trying to empty the mind through effort, are all forms of subtle inner doing. In contrast, being refers to a state of uncontrived presence and awareness. It is a deep stillness and quieting of all mental doing. An inner wakefulness that simply is without attempting to control, analyze, or affect what is happening in the present moment. To illustrate, consider the difference between watching a river from the shoreline and actually wading into the river and trying to push the water in a certain direction. When we approach meditation as doing, we are like someone entering the river and expending energy to make it flow a certain way through our efforts. But true meditation is like simply standing on the shore, calmly watching the river flow on its own without any attempt to direct or interfere with it. This state of being is not mere blankness or unconsciousness. It is a heightened presence and alertness to the present reality, both within and around you. But there is an ambient open quality of simply allowing things to be as they are, rather than a controlling, making, or doing of any kind. So meditation as just being is ultimately letting go into that spacious awareness, and restfully abiding as the witness of all that arises and passes away in every moment. It's the art of purely being prior to any doing. Learning to just be. If meditation is not a doing, then how does one actually go about meditating in this way? It may seem paradoxical, but the biggest step is to stop trying to get somewhere with our practice and effort. We simply need to understand and recognize the state of non-doing that is always available in the present moment. One of the most direct ways to get a taste of this state of just being is to notice when you accidentally slip into it amidst your daily life. There are many instances where you may find yourself not actively doing anything for a brief period. Perhaps you're waiting at a stoplight on your commute. Or you've completed a work task and haven't yet moved on to the next item on your list. or you pause and get lost in the view from your window for a few moments. In these ordinary gaps between doing, you may feel a stillness and pause in mental activity. There is an ambient presence and sense of wakeful peace before the thinking mind reboots into its usual patterns again. This fleeting experience is what being, or the meditative state, feels like. So the invitation is to be more aware of these temporary lapses into non-doing already happening for you. And then to intentionally recreate and extend that state of meditation beyond those spontaneous instances. You can set aside periods of time each day, even if just a few minutes, where you make no effort and simply abide in that deep stillness within yourself. There's nothing more to it than that. You don't need to follow any particular technique or clear your mind of thoughts by force. You are simply being utterly relaxed at your core, calmly aware yet without any agenda or goal other than to sustain that open presence for a while. With this understanding, it becomes possible to remain in a state of meditation for longer and longer periods. Some have even been able to anchor themselves in that non-doing being for 24 hours a day, integrating meditation into activity. So far we've been exploring meditation as a state of just being in a more resting, unmoving way. But the art of presence doesn't end there. Once you become truly established in being able to just be without doing anything, the next profound step is to integrate that wakeful stillness into all of your daily activities and doings. Meditation then is not about abandoning life to enter some transcendental state separate from the world. It is a new way of living, and moving fluidly between the poles of non-doing being and engaged doing, while remaining anchored in that initial state of presence. What does that look like in practice? Imagine being able to go about all of your usual responsibilities and actions like bathing, cleaning, meal preparation, work tasks, conversing with others and so on, but doing it all from a foundation of inner stillness rather than a contracted, mind-driven state of distraction or ambition. It's as if in each moment you open enough spaciousness to do what needs to be done, but without ever leaving the seat of awareness and being at your core. You remain the watchful, untouched witness to the changing activities and circumstances around you, like the eye of a storm. There is great power, ease, and creative flow available when we live and act from that place. Our actions become infused with clarity, spontaneity, and a sense of joyful presence, free from the usual mind chatter, agendas, and tensions. We become like a clear mirror, fully engaged in reflecting each experience as it arises, but not scratched or distorted by our habitual patterns of fixation and resistance. At the same time, we remain unaffected at our depths by the turbulence of life's inevitable ups and downs and dramas, like a yogi sitting calmly in meditation, while a storm rages around them outside. We are doing and not doing simultaneously, acting appropriately in the world, yet centered in the experience of pure being. The more we stabilize this way of living meditatively throughout our daily activities, the more we exist in alignment with the natural flow of life. We are no longer fighting the current of each moment through our struggles and resistances. Instead, we become like a leaf on a stream, buoyantly riding the undulations of every experience in a state of profound allowing and wakeful presence. This doesn't mean we become passive or irresponsible in the world. If anything, our actions become far more potent, masterful and impactful when sourced from that state of meditation. After all, what could be more powerful than acting as a conduit for the innate intelligence of present awareness itself? The path of meditation ultimately integrates and balances the poles of non-doing being and active doing, until we fluidly embody both in each passing moment of our lives. We learn to rest as the unwavering witness within the eye of the storm, while simultaneously expressing ourselves creatively through our every action, undistracted by the winds of circumstance. In this video, we've explored a perspective on meditation that is unconventional, yet remarkably simple and profound. We've seen how meditation is not about doing any particular practice or technique, but about arriving at the state of non-doing, awake presence that is always available in the present moment. By understanding this distinction between being and doing, and recognizing our own lapses into non-doing awareness already happening spontaneously, we can intentionally recreate that state of just being more and more. Not through effort, but through a gentle allowing and not interfering with the natural presence constantly shining within us. And from that foundation of inner stillness, we've seen how the art of living meditatively is then about integrating that unmoving awareness into all of our moving, engaged actions and expressions in the world. We learn to act while not acting, do while not doing, ever anchored in the experience of our inherent being that is undisturbed by the comings and goings in the field of experience. It's a remarkably simple way to live, yet not always easy, as we must continuously choose presence over the habitual tendencies that keep us entertained. So in essence, meditation is one of the most profound and yet simple arts there is. It doesn't require following any elaborate ritual or technique. It simply involves realizing the state of awake presence that is always available in this moment, beneath all the mental chatter and busyness, just being without any doing or effort to get somewhere else. Completely at home in the restful awareness that you already are. From that unshakable ground of just being, you can then start to integrate meditation into all aspects of your life, transforming every action and expression into an anchored, creative flow of radical presence. You become the unwavering eye of the storm, potently engaging with each experience while never losing touch with the stillness at your core. Acting powerfully in the world, yet content to simply witness the play of existence unfolding around you. This is the great art and blessing of meditation. Not transcendence from life, but being fully immersed in life from that place of inner freedom and luminous wakefulness. So let this exploration be an invitation to discover that state of innocent being that is your innermost essence, and to breathe that awake presence into every sphere of your daily experiences and actions. For in doing so, you will unveil the open secret of what it means to truly live a life of profound meditation and creative engagement with the undivided wholeness of this present moment. I'm here and now. Thank you for watching. Till we meet again. Have blessed days.